try to document some of the activities of the Water Resources Division and U.S. Geological Survey in the data collection effort during the 1993 flood and on the Mississippi at St. Louis, later at Chester, Illinois, and Thebes, perhaps later in the day. We will begin our tour, if I may use that term, at the field headquarters office in Olivet, Missouri. In charge of this office has been here since 7 a.m. this morning. He is going to
Hello, you have one message.
gauge heights at some critical stations.
Hi, this is Ted Crystal from Grafton. You called me earlier about reading water meter. It's 7 o'clock right now, and I'm getting ready to go read it for you. I'll call you back tomorrow and see how you want to set up on if I should call
Getting
in every
information
day
from the
or
field at the moment.
how you'd like it read and everything. So I'll have to read
Data
right
collection
now
is
at 7
quite
o'clock, and
critical
I'll call you tomorrow sometime. Thank you. Bye.
To operations of other agencies. This is kind of the command center for the St. Louis effort at the moment.
Messages. I will be waiting. Messages.
Excuse me, George. How long have you been without a break on this flood?
The last day off was July the 5th.
Last day off for George was July 5th.
That would be
That includes
about
each day, weekends. How long a days have you been putting in?
12 hours.
And what about your people in the field? Have they been running about the same thing?
12, 14 hours, all of us.
And this is typical of the effort that has gone into the data collection. It's been extremely difficult and costly in terms of equipment. How much equipment has been lost, George?
We lost a couple of 300-pound weights and a couple of meters. Some of the cables have been strained with some of the scraping against the bottom of the bridge. Steel and some drift has caught some of it.
And
Yeah, but if you do, you want to bring it up.
Some of the
have we lost any gauges?
Some of the motors have been burned from continuous use and heavy weights, and we're just trying to keep up with it as best we can right now.
Thank you very much, George. Would you take just a moment and explain how the data from the gauging stations is brought into your office here?
What we do is collect the data out there, take the discharge measurements and the gauge heights. Everything is called in, then it's given to the Corps of Engineers so that they can make their decision processes on the Mississippi River, and then we also furnish it to the National Weather Service, who uses it for the river forecast.
And our gauges that we're operating, we're using DCPs. What is the procedure there?
Some of them, we have DCPs.
I realize that the data is recorded, transmitted using the data collection platforms to a satellite, and then is brought down by a downlink to our computer system. Where does that downlink tie in?
South Carolina. We're getting it from Columbia, and we're getting it. They send it. We get it out of our tabs and on the DCPs. Now we have some DCPs, some ADRs have been lost. Most of our gauges have been. We've got them underwater. We went in and raised the instrumentation, so they won't get wet and we won't lose them completely. Some places we're using strictly DCPs. Other places we only have maybe ADRs because of the high water situation.
Thank you very much, George. I won't take more time from your busy day. Some of our people, Roger Nygaard,
Both of the
Shane
handles on the
Barks
window
from Arkansas,
are in the center.
are just,
The
they
broken
will be
window on the corner
going in the field
where it's
shortly.
patched up goes on a downstream side.
Leonard Huber.
Yeah.
These gentlemen have been putting in very long hours. Are quite dedicated
If you
to
don't get no rain, you might want to leave them out.
the
because
effort.
It's handy.
the shop area here in Olivet, the field headquarters office. They have made several moving boat measurements over the past few days. That requires a field crew of at least 6 people. You can see the boat that has been used setting immediately in front of us. You can see sample bottles have been taken. We have done a great deal of water sampling. Some of the equipment that has been used. St. Louis, the Mississippi River at St. Louis, they have to walk along a railway track to get there. 6.94 feet now. Outside wire weight reading. Said that the outside gauge read 47.01 feet. Gauge at 47.01 feet on the outside gauge. That's about a tenth higher than the measurement yesterday, which was rounded to 1 million cubic feet per second. That was the measurement yesterday. It will be a little greater today. Train coming. Train coming is one of the hazards of this work. We must be quite careful. Step away just a bit. Currently reading 46.98. It was reading 47.00 a moment ago. This is a record here. An all-time record in terms of stage. Yesterday, 1 million cubic feet per second was measured at a stage of 46 point. What was the gauge height yesterday?
Pardon?
What was the gauge height yesterday on the measurement?
46.88.
46.88 was the gauge height yesterday at the discharge measurement of 1 million cubic feet per second. Gauge height is fluctuating a little. I believe it's at 47.0.
47.01 on the outside.
47.01 is the outside reading. And the time is
8:33.
08:33, July 21, 1993.
Do not do this.
A view of the river upstream from the railway bridge, the arch, the waterfront, coming around, Interstate Highway Bridge. We're looking at Marks and Huber are getting ready to make a discharge measurement on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, Missouri. They expect to measure over 1 million cubic feet per second today. Yesterday, I understand, they measured 999,500, which rounds to 1 million CFS yesterday. The car is equipped with a TV monitor. Originally it was to monitor barge traffic while they're in the car, but I don't believe there will be any barge traffic today. It's all been shot down. There may be some Coast Guard or other emergency vessels rather. They are hooking up the monitor. Batteries. I'm going to be checking those batteries now. Side of the car. They have to change cable quite frequently because the cable is rubbing against bridge member.
Battery up there, one before this.
Car monorail system. When the monorail car leaves, looking across the river. There's the power pole below landing stage of the monorail. Pound Columbus weights in making this discharge measurement. They will be using a standard price AA meter. Standard for our organization for years upon years. Attaching the current meter, hanger bar, and we'll attach that to the cable on the monorail car. Within this compartment, however, there is an angle indicator which shows how much of an angle the cable is converted because of the weight of the meter being swept downstream during the discharge measurement. The correction is the depths based on that angle. The meter has been tested or will be tested thoroughly to make sure that it is free and operating correctly. In other words, conducting a spin test on the meter. And just now connecting the meter to the cable wire. Making sure that it's spinning properly. Freely. What maximum depth would you expect to have here?
Yesterday we had a depth of close to 80 feet in the middle of the main channel.
Close to 80 feet at the main channel. Thank you. Because of train traffic immediately over my head. Eads Bridge. Monorail car moving outwards from the bank. Downstream, I believe that's the Eads Bridge that we're under.
You're looking up.
What? Leaving the landing stage. Rail car discharge right now. 25 July 21, 1993. Next measure more than a million CFS. Feet per second. Time is 10:30 hours. They are making a discharge measurement on the upstream side of the Poplar Street Bridge using the monorail car system. They will be expected to record more than 1 million cubic feet per second passing this point during this discharge rate. Maximum depths will flow in the main channel is expected to be nearly 80 feet, according to Mr. Barks a few minutes ago. Slowly pan around Poplar Street Bridge. Let's see, Illinois side of the river, and around. The Eads Bridge, and of course the arch. We are now at the Mississippi River Gauge at Chester, Illinois. Mike Clisholti and Bob Holmes are just completed water quality sampling. Mike is on the mobile phone to, I don't know whether it's our Olivet office or perhaps our district office in Rolla. I do not know. The mobile phones are something we just got in recent months. They have been a tremendous aid in documenting and this flood and directing field people from the office and keeping the flood coordinator Leon Reed and Lloyd Waite, both in the Rolla district, aware of what the field conditions are, and the mobile phone has been tremendously useful. As I said, they are just about to finish up. I see they are in the process of labeling their samples, documenting the samples. Bob told me that they managed to sample right on the peak. Is that not correct, Bob? You sampled on the peak?
Yeah, right. It's 47.41 was the peak.
47.41
Yeah, right about noon.
was the peak stage at about 1200 hours. Again, this is July 21st, 1993. We'll take a look of the gauge house. Should be able to see the antenna on top of the gauge house, which is used in connection with the data collection platform to send data to a satellite periodically, and which then is pulled by downlink to our computer system and into our district and sub-district field headquarter offices. On the downstream walkway of the bridge near the left bank, I'm going to pan in a downstream direction around. Detail of the measuring equipment that we use at this bridge. They've got a large sampler.
These are sediment samples, Larry.
Sediment sample that have been taken. What is the sampler that you got on there, Bob?
We got a P63.
A P63 sampler. And I should have known they were sediment samples. Sample sediment in the past on much smaller streams. Sediment sample. It's 61 sampler.
Here, I'll mock up like I'm writing on my Bible case. Dead. That's all, folks.
Thebes. I'm sorry. This is the Mississippi River at Chester, Illinois. I got to the site just as they were completing their sediment sampling. They're in the process of putting their equipment away. There are 2 National Guard soldiers stationed here to prevent traffic across the bridge. It's closed on the other side. I understand these people, Bob and Mike, are going to grab a bite to eat and then proceed to the Mississippi River at Thebes to sample and perhaps assist with measurement. Again, the mobile phones have been extremely useful in directing people to their work sites and changing such schedules when needed, assuring that the correct number of people that were needed were at the proper sites. It allowed immediate dispatch to the next site without having to even go to a phone booth to do so. You can see them. We have batteries being charged. The car takes reel takes an immense amount of electrical power batteries. They're fairly expensive batteries. I understand they're something like $150 a piece. And with the use that we're giving them, they have to be charged, plus we had to buy some new batteries.
Yeah, but see,
They are testing the batteries. They must be charged for the next visit, which I understand will be tomorrow morning. They're going to come and use them again.
This thing should be still kicking out of something.
What voltage batteries are those?
Well,
Those are 12-volt heavy-duty diesel batteries.
12 volt heavy duty diesel.
where these bombs